essentially, if we have any areas of weakness, just like muscles, they will be compromised. They will feel strained. And so, like, for example, if career finances are strained, we will feel that kind of strain financially. Or we will feel like our career is stagnating, or just like we are.
When the whole idea is that our society has taught us to be and behave in an unnatural way. And so those things that are truly natural feel foreign to us because we've been programmed from birth to do things like be this way, be this person, don't do what society says. And so as a result of that, I think we've tricked ourselves into thinking that what is natural feels unnatural.
That's fascinating. So in a sense, what we're doing is we are relearning how to be natural.
Exactly.
It's almost like relearning how to be spontaneous. Well, how do you do that? Well, practice spontaneous actions or practice natural activities or actions. What have you been up to since you graduated from my program, from the Qigong coaching program?
Well, I've actually been very busy, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm continuing my journey of personal growth with you through practice and through coaching, and you're actually teaching me how to become a Qigong coach in your style. So I'm really excited to be able to add value to people in that way. I'm also continuing to network professionally and continue to climb the ladder in my job and personal life. And I feel like I've been really blessed to get into the back pocket of so many amazing and dynamic individuals such as yourself. Recently, I've been able to get around several business leaders in the Portland, Beaverton area, and I have the privilege of helping them to expand on some of their projects. And while I can't make any promises because I don't know what anyone's qualified for, if there is someone in your audience who is seriously ambitious about wanting more out of life than what they currently have, making connections and looking into other projects, I would be happy to sit down with that person and explore what this opportunity might look like for them.
Well, it sounds like there are opportunities out there that are worth exploring. Even crisis has a seed of opportunity in it.
Oh, absolutely.
So we have been kind of living through a form of crisis for over a year, thanks to the pandemic, that created some challenges, but it also created some opportunities. And some of us have benefited from the opportunities that this pandemic brought about. Now, if you just kind of imagine or daydream, what would be the new normal, if there is such thing as new normal, that could potentially coalesce as a result of changes that we've been experiencing over the last year, would you say?
Are you referring to the Qigong industry or the world at large?
The world at large, and perhaps we can look into the Qigong industry as well.
I think one thing is that masks are here to stay. I'm not necessarily excited about that, but I think that the US and several European countries will probably adopt the same kind of cultural issue that they have in many Asian countries of adopting wearing a mask when you're sick or when you're around people who are sick. That's one thing that I think is going to be a part of our culture. But looking at it a little bit deeper, I think that our global society is going to be more focused on really helping each other. Because in my opinion, this pandemic has really shown a spotlight on how weak our institutions are in society and how much we need to band together as individuals to help one another get through hard times.
That's true. And as a matter of fact, not only individuals, but countries and communities need to band together. Otherwise, if one community, for example, is getting seriously sick, the next door community is not going to be particularly healthy.
Exactly.
Some they may be healthier, but their health and well-being will definitely be impacted.
I agree. I would have to. Another change that I think the pandemic will bring about is that the service, in terms of people who help other people, jobs that serve, jobs that help, I think those are really going to start exploding. Because, I mean, when has there been a time when more people are in need of help?
Absolutely. We have not only service industry, but also so-called essential jobs kind of highlighted or put front and center. So there are obviously some people performing those kinds of jobs who have not been paid well. And obviously they need to be paid better because they're going to quit. They're not going to perform the essential work if they're not being compensated for it. But not only the people who do the essential work, I think there are a lot of workers, for example, who get used to and perhaps begin to prefer not to commute to work because they can work remotely. Online education becomes kind of a standard operating procedure for many schools and universities.
Oh, yeah.
And even doctors start doing telemedicine with many of their patients. What is your perspective on how the society potentially may evolve as a result of these changes? And maybe we can look at not just society at large, but also the Qigong community in particular.
Well, you know, I actually think that this is one of the best opportunities that Qigong has had in a long time. And I would say that for a few different reasons. First of all, stress is at an all-time high. So helping and learning techniques of how to deal with stress is certainly something that's going to be in demand. Also, there's continuing to be a need for health and how to stay healthy and get good exercise in your own area. But I also think that there's room for Qigong to evolve, which you've really helped to pioneer in terms of doing coaching online and movement practices online, and really helping to bring Qigong into the 21st century. I think that you are one of the biggest pioneers in that area, and so I really look forward to what you have to bring for Qigong in the future.
Well, one of the things that is pretty apparent is that health clubs had to shut down their doors, and many of them just went out of business. Not only health clubs, but also many yoga studios, martial arts dojos, and various other facilities where people would go to work out, to train, to do some wellness practices. And basically they had to close their doors because they couldn't operate during the pandemic. Some of them had been in fact impacted so much that they just simply couldn't stay in business. But the alternative would be to basically practice at home. and doing some of the practices that we kind of take for granted in Qidao would be life transforming for many practitioners because they would discover for themselves that they don't need to follow somebody else's forms. They can actually start exploring and by paying attention to themselves, learning a great deal about energy and about the principles of energy awareness, and immediately start applying what they're learning. So essentially, the applications then become the practice. And basically, that's what weaves this practice into daily life. What would you say might be the practice, maybe just one singular practice that seems like is easy to weave into daily life that you would care to share with our viewers?
Well, I think that I am inspired to share a centering exercise with you. But before I do, I would like to point out that I believe that Qi Dao is specifically poised to really make the most of this online space because of the fact that it doesn't rely on forms. It doesn't rely on you having to do things this way and only this way.
Mm-hmm.
It's about exploring. It's about feeling what resonates with you. And think because of that, it's so much easier to be able to participate in Qi Dao and be able to get value from it as opposed to having to do a form when you can't necessarily see the whole picture of the person.
Right, exactly. I think monkey see, monkey do approach to training is outmoded. And the 21st century requires becoming more authentic. And authenticity doesn't come from repetition of what somebody else finds helpful or correct. So if somebody does something that works for them, power to them. Does it mean that everybody is going to benefit in the same way from doing things in the exact same way? Often, what works for one person may not work the same way for another person. So that's exactly why exploring and rediscovering
World Day Change Qigong Day.
Is I'm so delighted to introduce you such an important part of this process. So even centering exercise, many people say, I want to become centered when they come to study Qigong. Well, how do you become centered? Well, you may listen to some nice music, or you may go for a walk in the park and
Okay, so it's almost 10, it's almost 4, 6, 7, it's almost 1. Yeah. Hmm. Mhm. VIP bonus. Oh, VIP bonus. VIP bonus. Thank you. Wait. There's the motherfucking VIP bonus one. Okay, so VIP bonus back to editor. Who's next? Who's next? Fine. Next, Christian Wood. Yeah. I don't fucking get it. Richard Drake. So next one is Doug. Doug. So look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. So just 2. 2. Okay, that's awesome. So the last 2 Dominicans. Simon and Right.
Simone Claret, who is an old-time student of mine, an old-time who is an old-time student of mine and a Qigong practitioner in her own right. Thank you, Simone, for participating in our event today.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me. I am really thrilled also to have the opportunity to showcase a little bit more your work instead of what I'm doing, because I think that's more what your people want to know as well.
I think everybody needs to learn as much as they can, and there are different strokes for different folks. So you experienced some of my training, you experienced some training from Zhejiang Qigong and from some other styles. So this is really cool, and it also gives you perhaps a way to kind of see under which circumstances some particular practices work better for you, and perhaps under other circumstances some other practices work better for you. So it's something that I would like to dive right into. Well, perhaps you can give us a little bit of an idea about the background and how
how you got involved with the study of Qigong and similar disciplines in general.
Yeah, that's definitely a really good question. That's how we actually also then found each other, right? So, I mean, initially, you told me, I didn't even remember anymore, that I contacted you. I contacted you told me, so, I mean, initially, I contacted you so that we connect with the Master's for the interview from the non-medical hospital in China. Master Leo, I guess, right? And yeah, Master Yongzhang Leo and the other Master Leo. And I personally got into all what I'm doing now more in a natural way because I had some healing, I call it healing experiences as I was younger, which I couldn't explain. But somehow that was initiated in the bottom of my heart. So no matter what I touched, I couldn't deny it. So I tried, so I had a normal upbringing, so to speak. I come from Germany. I tried things like probably everyone else does, go to school, get a profession, and have been successful with that from the outside, but not in the bottom of my heart. So that got me to the point that I say I'm denying something in myself, and I want to know what it is, and that got me always like being curious in all types of out of the box healing modalities. I naturally have not been into Western medicine, don't know why. Not as a child. I remember my mom wanted to give me medication. I naturally didn't want to have it, right? That's not cool, right? So, but I do remember how my body did the healing for itself, and I fully trusted that as a child. And I think that's something like, wow, when you remember back, say, wow, it's pretty amazing that you do know. And that really got me going. And so at the there have been some major incidents in my life. I said, I really need to know what happened here. And that set me on the go that I finally picked up on medical Qigong. So I started in coming to America. That was a big shift. And then starting medical Qigong. After I was situated here a while, and I found out that America offers so much more opportunity. And that was really resonating with me. And in this way, I found the next Qigong and started that exploration. And then I found you.
Yeah, and obviously you were not standing still since then. You hit the ground running and started teaching and also doing some coaching programs. Can you tell us about the teaching and what it is that you offer? Coaching programs. Can you tell us about the teaching and what it is that you offer?
Yeah, I mean,
teaching and Can you tell us about the teaching and what it is that you offer?
Yeah, I mean, this had actually the last 2 years. I had quite a development because I needed to move through some deeper barriers myself, which got me to more of the core what I want to do in life. So before I would say I was more running around the studio. And so I was curious in the sense of nothing. So I'm really making that movement because I do see a lot of people they run around and run for the shiny objects, and then you come to like, there we are. Right? So I'm more into working with the Qi. Everyone else here in this group probably knows what Qi is, but if we can shorten it or translate that, is probably best explained as life force energy. Using your conscious ability to move it. And you are working also on the physical level, which I liked a lot. But for me, I figured out was a lot of a coping mechanism to run away from what I knew I need to dive in. So it's my development, not everyone's development, but this was helping me. So when I actually was coming to you, I definitely was in a changing state. Changing states are always chaotic, right? So, and I didn't have yet what I'm having now. Not yet. So I can definitely say you have been one of the milestones in igniting that. So keep me going on it. I mean, seriously. So kudos to you. I'm very blessed and very happy that we could have that time together. And now I'm having a program where I can hone in on those more how to use your consciousness in the way that you can really go through the blocks. You can and experience that energetic, the Qi in yourself. You can harmonize with that, and you can really connect with the universal law. And that is actually a state. And that's reminding me of what I experienced, so I know I'm very close to it. I know that's the starting point where my life actually started. So where I feel it's a kind of awakening moment for me. And now, even when you feel that's the point, when you just need to dive in now, it's still, there's improvement happening and there's still development happening, and that makes life so beautiful.
Absolutely. So I'm really thrilled to know that you have been developing and discovering your core teachings and core values. And perhaps you can share with us a little bit what those core values are, so that some of the viewers will probably resonate and say, oh, that's what I want. So what would you say your core values are?
Yeah, I mean, really from the bottom of my heart, it's the most people go for healing. I would say for highest potential, for what is innate, it's given to you. So I realized that very early on, I mean, it's actually coming down, so if you want to say so, it's from the highest, even though it's coming not in how I say it, from a high level here, I mean, maybe better said from the finest level. The information from where time stays on one, so it's moving out and it has the ability to reflect out. So we have the same ability here. We have an innate ability inside, and we can connect with that and do it to however reflect out our life, our so-called external life. Then we have the ability to say, well, if there's something not right, some people are suffering from disease, some people suffer from issues in the family, relationship issues. Some people don't know where they fit into society. And nowadays, it's very, very intense. There's a lot of people they don't know who they are and cannot find their own center. They feel often very isolated, even though they're surrounded by people, and that is not necessary. So there are ways out, and it doesn't mean that you have to overload your plate, but it does mean that you want to switch from the house that doesn't work for you into the new house that is quite different. And I mean, this is very situation, the core for me is not to teach you much more. I do notice that everyone knows what they need, when they need it. They just need more encouragement to lead themselves in this process. Allow themselves to show up as it is right now. Reality check is a sweet, bitter taste, right? So, but if you don't have it,
You mentioned that you kind of switch from one house that doesn't work so well for you to another house. That kind of reminds me of your own process of switching from one house to another. Well, can you elaborate a little bit on that journey of your own and perhaps how you managed to engender that switch or manifest the transition?
yeah, and as I said, you started that way. I mean, you have
Never mind. Oh, great. Okay, so that's good. And
Perhaps that's just the flow. That's
hey, Marcia. Hi, Ann.
Don't hear anything.
Can you hear me all right?
No sound. I got no sound.
Ooh.
Let's see. Oh, wait.